There are only three questions of value in life: of what is the heart made, of what is worth living for, and of what is worth dying for. The answer to each is the same: only love. This word, love, can sound overused, worn out, cliche, but in this case, it speaks to something dormant inside, something that offers me the ability to commit to what I say next.
I've parked at a lookout point where I often come to think. Lately, when I think, there's often sort of a voice, a familiar voice, a voice that's always been there. But lately, it's become more and more in the background. It's cold out. It's like -10 here. So lately, when I think, there's a sort of voice. Like who is there when you close your eyes? When you close your eyes, who are you? That voice, lately, what it's been saying is, what about all the things we were going to do? So, I've decided to try to listen. So, I've decided to do an experiment in transforming one's life, to focus on things that in hindsight are the things that really matter. More about what I alluded to earlier, about listening to that voice, about prioritizing what really has meaning, of what is sacred. What is sacred, and just focus on that. So I created this channel, the Zero to Hero Guy, and the idea is to share the results of this experiment here. So the title of the channel is meant to mirror my personal situation and represent my attempt at going from zero to somewhere better. I know someone might say, well, you're not at zero. But I can tell you that if I'm not at zero right now, I was and have been very recently. And I won't bore you with the details or anything, but it is no exaggeration when I say I am starting, or have started recently, from zero. Like, I can still feel Zero's breath down my neck. On my next video, I'll give more of an overview of what the experiment will be like. I'm open to suggestions, actually. I don't pretend to know what I'm doing. I'm open to suggestions. But the idea is to have a dedicated environment with no distractions, to focus on this pursuit, on only this one pursuit of life improvement, of self-transformation. to use my own experience in this experiment to introduce these different techniques, these different daily rituals, in order to weed out what works and what does not, and then aggressively pursue the ones that do work. Just training. That's one's life. Pure training. Pure focused training. Training one's mind. Giving only this topic my attention. Can I at least break old bad habits? If I dedicate all my attention to this endeavor and this alone, what changes can I make? What transformations can occur? What can I change in my life? Housing myself in a dedicated environment for a period of time for this specific purpose. Can I train myself into a very different personal reality? These are the questions that interest me. These are the questions that have always interested me. Questions like, what are we truly capable of if we really put our mind to it? If we gave absolute all-out commitment, what can we do? If we refuse to take no for an answer, what does it mean to truly commit? What does it mean to have absolute all-out commitment? Have I ever really tried? Have I ever really applied the knowledge that I have in my head and that I've read and acquired? Have I ever really applied it to my day-to-day life? In moments I see clearly, I see blocks that are just mind apparitions. I see a fog of preconceived notions. And beyond that, I see a horizon, not a box. I feel like it's a betrayal to those eyes that can see that horizon to not make the most genuine attempt I can at giving it the wheel, at giving those eyes the wheel. What is this in me that pulls me in two different directions? How much can I feel? Is this reality as malleable as I sometimes suspect? Have I ever really tried? Have I ever really tried? With all the distractions and other commitments in life, have I ever really tried? These are the questions that I need to answer, of what is worth living for, of what is worth dying for. These seem to be the basis of real meaning, the pursuits worth pursuing. These are the questions that I need to answer, and that is what this project is for.